Ladies and gentlemen, Refugee Camp presents
For all relationships, for regrets, for disagreements, for breaking up and making up, for all those out there jonesing for love, it's Love Jones right here, right now on Global 99.5. Good morning. Breathe it in and breathe it out. It's a marvelous Monday right here on the home of the Steve Harvey Morning Show, Global 99.5 FM. Welcome to another edition of Love Jones. And I trust and hope that everyone had a great weekend, despite some of the grim things that we have been going over and discussing. Before we get into anything this morning, let me go ahead and say good morning to those of you that are watching on Facebook that will view the video again on Yahoo or perhaps Global 99.5's webpage or Love Jones Crew. You can also go on your Google Play Store and get Global 99, your music, your videos, and some of our programming will be available via the app. 431-8497 is your text and WhatsApp. You may call in live at 326-0272. Email at verycoolcandy@yahoo or lovejonescrew@gmail.com. Morning, guys. Twix Brothers. We've got Brother D. Good morning.
Yeah.
Magic Mike. Good morning.
And the camera on face.
No, brother.
You have to put the camera.
No, sir.
See, what happened is we start with the chocolate, we put the caramel, and then see.
No, right.
I'm the crunch.
When you making it,
the crunch is in the middle. The caramel on top of the
see,
chocolate.
I start backwards. So we going from inside, we put the crunch, then the caramel, and then the chocolate.
When you open the package, what you see first?
You see chocolate first. And then the caramel goodness. See, it pulls it out. It's the gooey thing that holds it together. And then the crunch brings the sassy to it. Right. Yeah. So that's what's happening. We good.
Okay.
We got the whole bar here this morning.
The caramel goodness.
Yes. So how do you get beyond things in your relationship? It's something that came because of a situation that I read in one of our letters that we received. Mm-hmm. And, my mind just went back on a very powerful show that we had. And I'm hoping to go in our catalog and post it when we talked about forgiveness. Do you guys remember that? Where the child drowned. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that? And they were considering having other children, and she was unwilling to let go.
Yeah,
she loved him, but letting go was very, very difficult. Right. And then there was a situation where the child was terribly burnt in the face and scarred, and they were trying to get past that.
And how to deal with it, how to tell the child what happened.
How it happened,
and everything else.
Deal with the teasing and the ridicule that came in school, and how not to point fingers and blame each other. I just remember those episodes, and they were very powerful things on trying to rebuild and how to find forgiveness, real, true, honest forgiveness, which I think we've lost grasp of as people. A lot of times we hear conversations of let it go, let God, love and light. We hear all of these different things that people say, yeah, they sound so pretty. Mother second, don't let them miss and write that in some nice, some cursive writing on one card or one meme that have, swirls and flowers and bunnies in the background. That looks so good to send in your chat group. Mother sick. You start the morning off with that. Live and let love and forgive. You're like, boy, I just feel like the ish. Lies. Because someone could cut you off and you cuss them to the ground.
Just now.
And you're going to let that go because you're going to feel some type of way. Because when someone else tries, and you could be on the person bumper in front of you.
Definitely.
Because you're still holding on to that. So if that's someone that you don't know that did something like that to you on the streets, and they didn't do it to you because they personal, because they're trying to either get to work or they late for something, so they trying to make that little move. So it's nothing personal. So imagine someone that is close to you that does something that you view as grievous. We tend not to let them go.
No.
We move past it in time. Only in time.
No.
Yeah, time passes, but we never get beyond it. We don't move through it.
Like I said, it was something my pastor said in service that I was like, yeah. But then when I thought about it, I was like, okay, that makes sense. He says true forgiveness is not forgetting.
No.
True forgiveness is actually remembering.
And don't have the kind of reaction.
Right. He said, but when you remember, it does not affect you. It doesn't change your mood. It doesn't make your temperature rise. You could still, like, everything's okay. You can see the person, you can still buy them lunch.
That's true forgiveness.
That's true forgiveness. And I was like, yeah.
I don't think most of us
are
able to attain it. Not really. No.
But I tell you something, I can be honest.
Yeah.
There's some people I still forgive. Personally.
I have difficulties with it, but the thing about it is I want you to forgive me.
Yeah.
That's really bad.
Yeah,
but that's human nature.
The thing is, what is forgiveness about, though? And I think
about bettering yourself.
We say it's more about us. And I think it has a lot to do with you. But the truth of the matter is, to love someone in its honest sense means that you accept that they mess up.
But
they will mess up again after this.
You're talking about in regards to relationships, right?
Yeah.
True forgiveness, in all honesty, is exactly that. If you're, and this is going to be, but if your wife or your husband goes out there and they cheat, like, okay, there was a situation where this guy, his wife, they couldn't have kids. His wife was raped and got pregnant. Of course, she wanted to have the abortion. He told her no. He's like, look, we can't have kids. That's a child. That's your child. Therefore,
you need to drink water on that.
Our child. He said, and I do not want you to abort this child. And she was like, you what? He's like, no. Yeah, I know it's the rapist child, but that's I don't want you to abort it.
But that takes forgiveness on her end, because she have to forgive the man that has assaulted her.
But the thing was,
to get to a place to be able to carry that child in her.
Right. And the husband went to the prison, and look, you raped my wife. You know that, I know that, she knows that, God knows that, you've been convicted, you're in prison now. I want you to give up your rights to the child so that I could raise the child as mine. And the man said, okay. And he signed over his rights, and they have now a child. But it took a lot of forgiveness on her part. I don't think she's yet forgiven him to the point where she could go to the prison.
No, but how can you not forgive him and still look in that child's face and have absolution of love?
Because
it has
it is extreme, but the thing is, because and this is what I have to say, because in her heart, in her mind, her thing is, okay, this isn't gonna, this is just initially is not only affected me. This is a request of the man that I love. If he is willing to take on this type of responsibility, despite the fact of how this child came, then I should be willing to do the same. And of course, as Christians, they, like I said, he was, all of the different aspects. By law, she has the right to terminate based on. But I think forgiveness comes in all different aspects, because for a man to go to the man that rapes his wife with no animosity, actually asking you to do me a favor. You rape my wife, but I want you to do me a favor. Give up your right so I could have your child and raise it as mine. That's strange. Because
give up your rights.
Yeah.
Still actually could go to the court and get admonished for rights.
He can get that child. He can get visitation despite whatever the circumstances is.
Die again.
Especially after he's already served
despite
his
the
time.
Right. Despite the circumstances, they still say, okay, that's biologically, that's his child.
I don't watch the movie though.
Because Mike's like, I ain't living that kind of life. All right.
I'm sorry. What is the migraine?
Yeah, he said so dry eye. My grandma used to say dry eye. Yeah, watch that.
I'll watch the movie.
So listen, this cool water. So listen, here's the scenario on Love Jones this morning. I think it speaks to a lot of things on how your actions in a relationship may not affect current, but things that you do definitely have a tendency to come back one way or the other. Here's a couple that's been together for 24 years.
What?
Yes, 24 years. This is a couple that's been together. They have built
2.5 decades.
Yeah. They've built a life together. They've raised children together. They have had a life together, right? They're coming down to a place where there seem to be some difficulties in the relationship, right? And within those difficulties, someone has stepped out of the marriage, right? So in saying for the purveyance of the relationship to work after 24 years of love, not just because of the time, but because of the enjoyment that they've had in being together, being parents together and watching your children surpass certain things and the growth of that relationship.
Graduate school, get their first job, apartment, right? These things.
So decide to go to counseling, and they're deciding that they want to make it work. Through making that decision, they have explored the fact that he has had relationships within the 24 years, more than 2. And in that, with putting all the cards on their table, she has admitted that their second child is not biologically his.
No.
They're counting over.
Wrong answer.
No.
Anyway,
Call
it's
the
nice.
man.
Anyway, Doc, it was nice knowing you.
Call the man.
But wait a minute. Do you see how D didn't flinch when I said he's had 2 relationships?
I was
flinched, but the reaction to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so understand now.
What?
Through not just one session, but they've been going.
Candy. Me, you, and Mike have had this discussion.
We have
before.
Pat dialing. Pat won't get in on that.
Pat dialing. You then the phone ring.
But then the phone ring over there.
Solid. When the phone ring, that can be Pat. Don't answer, yeah?
Okay, so right. Situation that we're in, and over a course of the different sessions, this is the bits of information that have come out bit by bit, piece by piece, in addressing why the relationship has gone the places that it has.
That means the 2 of them have cheated.
At different points in the relationship, they both have. He said to be honest, he said the first time that he cheated, it was maybe a month into the relationship. Now into their relationship, not their marriage.
In their marriage, a month into
their marriage? A month into their committed relationship.
Okay.
Was the first time so they were exploring the length and breadth of their relationship. So he said the first time that he had a relationship while he was with her was 1 month into when they were together in a relationship. The second time that he cheated was 6 months into their engagement. I think it was. Yeah, I don't know. He's figuring into little things. And then the third time, because he's done it 3 times.
Oh, was when?
Yeah, he said more than twice. And then the third time.
Because you already gone from the relationship into the engagement now?
Yeah, it was about 8 years into their marriage. So these are the 3 times. So initially, when they first committed as a couple, the second time into the engagement, and then the third and final time, which is what he's saying, is at least 8 years into their marriage. They've been together for 24.
So the first quarter of their the first third of their marriage.
Yeah, he was dipping and dabbling.
So
on and off.
Okay.
Okay.
No, you probably going to ask the same thing. How long was the relationship?
He didn't say. He didn't say. But
How old is the child?
Yeah, older teen years, and that's their second child. The first child, the second child, and they had 3 children.
No.
So the second child, she says, is biologically not his.
Yeah, well, the police would have been biologically putting handcuffs on me.
But we've all admitted. So what makes I'm hearing you.
I was gonna put hidden hands. Office.
I'm hearing you.
They're gonna come to call the man.
You can't put bows on them.
Yes.
But what I'm saying to you is, how do we justify that one act is greater than the next within your relationship?
We ain't got enough time on the show for that.
It is what it is, because now we're at a place where we're trying to figure out what is what. So, Mike, Melly goodness. Yeah, what's happening?
I'm on camera for that story.
You calling the show? You calling myself?
You going?
Okay, I don't even know what. What? Do it. You can imagine that.
No, actually.
326.
But see, the thing is,
yeah, man.
The thing is, the two of them did wrong. I mean, like, which one is worse?
How do you determine?
I can determine.
I guess because the one with the child makes it worse.
Yeah. See, the thing is, for me, if you had sex
and
with
that's from a Christian standpoint.
I can go. I get now.
Okay, go ahead.
If I stepped out of the marriage, okay. If you stepped out of the marriage, fine. You stepped out of the marriage, you bought a piece of him back and claimed it to be mine. And we've had the discussion before. I'm not going to go into the details and the graphics of what we talked about. Pat could wait. But
boy, this hot box this morning.
But the reality of it is, for you as a woman to go out and have sex with someone, come home within days, have sex with your husband. Tell him now you're pregnant for him.
Well, she said she didn't know that it wasn't until the child was about 10 or so. Pat, good morning. Thank you for calling into Love Jones.
I need to know what my role is. You got the chocolate, you got the caramel, you got the crunch. So what I do, vanilla or something.
You're the Robin.
What I am?
You tie it all together. You're the old shiny rapper.
Oh, I get the combo. No, but he took the words right out of my mouth. It's like, if she was upfront from the break and say, "Hey, look here, I cheated on you, and it's a possibility of this child that is within me right now is for the fella," maybe that's a big broad maybe. Something could work, right? But the fact that you had this child and homeboy ain't know nothing, child and running around calling him daddy and things like that, and then you find out in counseling that the child ain't yours.
Yeah.
That's done, man. That one name for.
So let me ask the question. Let's remove the issue of child for a moment. He has already cheated at least 3 times within not just marriage, engagement, every stage that they progressed in their relationship. He had a relationship, right?
That was, it was infidelity all through that. So
absolutely. And so let's just say remove the child and she admitted to an affair. An affair within the relationship. So everything's gravy without child. These are then different?
No, I really and truly, my thought process on it is, if it's been infidelity on both parts all throughout, I call that one quit. Because the thing about it is, yes, the topic of forgiveness is, I honestly, in a case like that, I think one off or one time. Okay, I don't even know if I won't bring my situation in this one. No, let me leave that alone.
Yeah,
but it's if it happened once, fine. Not fine, but
it's understandable.
Right, but if it's continuous, if it's over and over and over again, once, twice, 3, 4 times, and the crazy thing about it is, homegirl, she cheated, right? But how much times she cheated once after husband doing what he doing?
And see, that's where a lot of people, I am not justifying by any means bringing a child within it. But how many times on this show have we heard where a man has made a mistake? And I say it because he has not had the habitual act of cheating, but he's made a mistake because of whatever it was at the time, whether it was a need emotionally or something that happened. He went out, he did something, and a child was born of that. And he came back. And the expectancy was that his wife would not put down every other thing that they have had in their marriage and the commitment because of a mistake that was made. Now, I agree that she misstepped in so many ways, regardless of what he has done or not done. It is the expectation as his wife to say, this is what I've done. This is the possibility, and leave it to him to say, either I want the DNA or I don't want to know.
Right.
Let us go as usual. But the issue, how can you put away the 3 times that he has committed infidelity within the relationship? The ones when it has born a child. So are we saying that it is less grievous to step out of your commitment?
No. That's not
just because a child has come from, and I'm not saying a child is like a.
I was going to say, like,
no, I'm not saying that.
Wipe and spell off your brow.
But see, that's what I'm saying is this is how we get in problems with our relationship. We play tit for tat, and I'm not saying that. D, it's what we do.
No,
what you did is greater than what I did.
No,
what you did is equal to that. And so I can forgive that easier.
It's not that.
What it is.
If I cheat on my wife and she walks away, that's fine. If I cheat on my wife and she decides to stay, I appreciate it. If she cheats on me, I don't have the option to either walk away or stay.
Right?
Yep.
But if she cheats on me, gets pregnant, me, that the child is mine. Let's say what happens 10 years down the road, she looks at this child, she'll be like, you know what, that's not Durbin's child. If we had never gone to counseling, if we had never decided that we can open up about what the past held, I would have never known that was not my child until something unfortunately happens to that child.
Right.
I then have to now go, hold on, breathe, and give blood that I watched that happen to a man.
I'm not saying,
believe you me when I say
I'm not saying that it is right, but she would have probably never known. Now she said she always had an inkling that something happened and she decided to stay regardless of that. I understand that.
Okay, so let's say
what I'm saying is 10 to 1.
Let's use that.
No, let's live real life. More than likely the discussion was never had.
Let's use that.
It was an assumption that my wife is pregnant, this is my kid.
Yes.
More than like most husbands ain't gonna say, is that mine? Not if you want your own life. And you ain't gonna ask that. So more than likely there was the presumption.
When my child come on, I know my child.
The fact of the matter is, she was under the assumption that he cheated. She knew that she did.
Yes. And as he did too.
She was under the we going on your words. She was under the assumption that he cheated, so she didn't have no proof.
Yeah, but he knew.
Oh Lord,
you know when you're all been elsewhere, right?
Can I finish what I say?
Or did it float off your body in your sleep and it landed betwixt some other thighs?
Can
he knew too, right?
Can I finish what I say?
I just want to make sure we clear on that.
Yeah.
Did he know too?
You talking about her though?
Oh, we talking about her?
No, because you brought up the thing about her. So I'm saying yes, he knew that he cheated.
Right.
He knew that he cheated.
Yes.
That's on him.
And she did too. She knew she cheated.
Right.
Right.
She also knew she got pregnant. At some point.
Yes.
When she found out, and she decided when she realized at 10 years that the child was not her husband,
had some popcorn.
She should have just said, okay, well, since he don't know, and I only believe he cheated, I don't know proof he cheated, but I know this child isn't his, I still let him deal with it.
Did he say, okay, you said they've been together for 24 years, right?
Yes.
Did he say how old the second child is?
He said late teens. He didn't say
late teens.
Late teens, yes.
Meaning this Negro about almost 20.
About grown, yeah.
Well, far out. Did you hear that?
Yep.
So for 20 years, you've been lying to me talking this bull.
Held that away from him.
Solid look up like, nope.
For 20 years, you've been lying to me talking this.
I understand what I'm saying. And as men, I'm the only female here, right?
No, I get what you're saying.
No, I'm saying I understand where you're coming from. And I'm not saying that it is not the most equal that a woman could commit within a relationship. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is...
Yeah, but here's the thing.
What I am saying is more than likely it would have never come out. What he's done, and what he's done either, we don't know. Because at this point, now that she carrying the last scarlet letter, he ain't about to say if any of isms that he's been in has produced anything other than. Because at the end of the day, this is what she has done. Where do we go now? If he's saying, I still love my wife, and whether whatever it is, so what do you do now with the child? Do you now tell the child, I'm your pa, and you walk away from raising this kid for 17, 18 years?
I ain't gonna tell the child that, but I can tell the child, look, he needs to tell you.
No.
Wait, listen to me.
That has nothing to do with that kid, right?
That ain't nothing to do with that child. No, it does, because at the end of the day, let's say something happens to the child. And when it's time for me to give blood and I do that, my blood don't match. The child isn't stupid.
But you get blood, you already know that your blood ain't the match because you know you ain't the daddy.
I
still have to give blood. Yes, sir.
The man said that he still loves his wife.
Yeah, I love her from a distance.
Hold on.
That's you.
And apparently, he does want to make it work. If that is the case, that child don't need to know nothing.
Now,
if it comes to a point later on down, and when the child becomes an adult, almost an adult, or is an adult, and he starts questioning certain things like, okay, why do I look like this? I don't look like
right.
my dad.
He still doesn't know.
Mannerism. Then that is when he can own
you look like your great Grammy from Canada.
Hold on. Let me explain something to you. I watched the situation where this happened. This man and this woman was married. They had 4 kids. The 3rd child was not his. And the girl at 12 asked her father, she said, Daddy, why is it that I don't look like anybody in this house? Everyone is brunette, but I'm a blonde. Everyone have brown eyes, mine blue. Like everyone just talk a certain way. I mean, just walk a certain way. I walk it. Why? And he said that, oh, well, maybe you probably pick up Tracy a Grammy and but he knew the child wasn't his. 24 years later, they were on Maury. Well, I don't believe she may be his other children sitting there, and he have all girls. His other 3 daughters sitting there. They looking at mommy like, what the?
Here's the thing.
Hold on. The daughter who was in question was also there, and she said, you know, I always. And she said her dad always did his best to protect her, but she always felt something was off.
Here's the thing. We coming off. No, I hear you, but here's the thing. This is what I'm talking about, and that's why I decided to use this particular writing. What's interesting to me, how everybody always preaching is forgiveness, this light, this love, until something happens that you feel like is where you draw the line. Forgiveness don't have a line. Forgiveness don't have a line, especially people who talk in that Christian walk and talk. Jesus don't draw a line. You don't draw a line.
Let me explain.
Does he draw a line? No, and you ain't Jesus. I get that because I know that's just where you going.
No.
But at the same time, if you striving to be towards that, then why you gotta draw a line at something?
Jesus may not draw the line, but God actually does. God gives you the right to walk away in certain situations.
D, I ain't talking about that. Come on now.
You couldn't walk away.
Yes.
You could walk away, but the thing about it is that's not what forgiveness is.
That's what I'm saying. Walking away ain't got nothing to do with the forgiveness, you know.
Walking away, I can forgive you and still walk away.
I agree. But what I'm saying is we talking about what you do is the forgiveness, but don't say
walk away from it because I cannot deal.
And that's fine. What I'm saying is each person have to evaluate what they willing to take and what is deal breaker for them in their relationship. I don't disagree with that. But what I'm saying is everybody always walking in their relationships seeking forgiveness for the things that they do or for the things that they have caused to ail their relationship, but they are not willing to give the same. And I'm not comparing bringing a child within your relationship and sleeping with someone else. Now, some people may say don't happen to walk away with a takeaway prize.
Exactly, but let me show you something. Let me show you something. Like, you know, you see certain relationships that it is known that these people, they have had predominantly happy marriage.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
They've been together for so many years, and you know, you've had majority like happy times, and there's been maybe a few times when there's been chaos and turbulence and stuff like that, right?
Right.
My thing is that where there's always been happy moments and stuff like that, and then when it's shaken by, let's say, infidelity or whatever. My thing is, yes, I feel that, and this is just my opinion, I feel that, okay, you know what? Yeah, we've had more happy times than sad times, and yes, that is testing our foundation.
Right.
You know, but when you, but I find that, you know, and even looking at my situation and how it happened, it's like, yeah, that happened, and it was something that it hurt both of us. But at the same time, it's like, you know, why can't we salvage this? Why can't we salvage it? Because of you just dwelling on you keep dwelling on the past, and not saying, okay, you know what, this happened, we can't change this. Yes, this happened, but we've had happy times, and you know, so it's like, but now when you have those relationships where there's always chaos, it's like, okay, it's obvious that you need to just call this one quit, like over. You know, so I mean, the forgiving and walking away part,
yeah,
it like you say, it's a hard thing to explain.
Yeah, because some may see it like this: have you truly forgiven me? And we can move past within our relationship. if you walk away. I mean, I agree that there's an element of forgiveness with saying that I forgive you and I will not hold malice against you, but I choose not to be with you anymore because I don't feel like I can entrust you with my heart anymore.
You know what forgiveness is? If that person keeps bringing up the situation, even though they said that they forgive you, even staying with you or walking away, if they still talk about that constantly on a regular, they haven't forgiven you.
No.
They haven't forgiven you. But the way you know that somebody has forgiven you is they say that they forgive you, and they could look at you and they could talk to you every single day and as though nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's for me. That's true forgiveness.
You're right.
Well, so the ladies in the group are saying this. Well, basically, two wrongs in making a right. Right? It's no less of something that's been committed in the relationship, even though hers has resulted in a child. If the shoe was on the other foot, and he said, "Look here, let me drop this like this. 10 years in, I did a little something, and I have a child out there I've been paying for. But hey, you know, I still love you and everything else like that." And she say, "Well, I love you, but I can't let that one go." Then you would say, "Well, how is it that all of the good things that we've had within our relationship is simply stricken from your memory, from your existence, from the record of who we are as a couple because this has happened?" I mean, typically, even if we take it out of a relationship stance, if we're friends, something happens and someone does something, do we just strike everything else that this person has meant to us in our life? You and Fat Boy tighter than thieves, tights with fluffy legs, tighter than cheese melted on a decent egg, right? And I've seen some tights on some fluffy legs these past couple of days. Boy, tight boy. But you gotta butt up to get out them bad boys, right? So that's how I know you and Fat Boy are. And I've only spent a little bit of time to see y'all interaction, but the way you speak of him, like y'all come from the same womb. Understand what I'm saying? If Fat Boy commits something egregious against you, do you just strike all that y'all have meant to each other in a brotherhood because of that? Even if it takes you some time. What I'm saying? So what I'm saying is either we accept forgiveness as the truest sense in which, or say we will forgive within our relationship up to a certain point.
Yeah.
We got to be real about it. And that's what the real question here is then.
My thing
up to a certain point then.
If it was him and he had a child that was almost 20 years old, and you could love him from now till Jesus come, but if you decide to walk away, then baby girl, keep walking. Like, that's, to me, and we've had this discussion off air. That was actually one of the questions that I asked. And it went both ways. But like I said, when you add in all the factors of a pregnancy, this child is carrying his name. He was there getting up 2 o'clock in the morning to go get ice cream and salty sausage and vinegar because that was she was craving, rubbing her feet, doing all these things. For you now to tell me that this 20-year-old child that I was taking care of for the past 21 years, because the 9 months they count. When you can't sleep, I can't sleep. You get up vomiting, I have to be up with you. When you have to go to the hospital 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, I gotta be to work at 7. I gotta get you to the hospital, get you home, get you settled. I'll be checking on you, take my lunch break to come and bring you soup and all this stuff. I gotta, and then you can tell me this in my what? No, we're gonna have a problem.
Baby, that's what love.
That ain't what love is. That's what Jesus
anyway, folks, I can talk to you all later.
Yes, sir. That's what Jesus about. I ain't about that life. I ain't Christ.
So we're saying,
I trying.
So we're saying that fundamentally, forgiveness.
No, I'm not saying that.
Love unconditionally does not and cannot, will not exist within
I can
relationships.
still love you and forgive you and still be there for you. I just ain't gonna be with you.
I said within.
So you definitely.
I said within
you definitely leave her.
Yes.
And after all the love and support,
I still can give her all that. I just ain't gonna be with her.
Child.
I can still give him that too.
Yeah, I just don't forget now. You slept out on the marriage too.
Yes,
that's like,
and like I said, if I had slept with three women and she had slept with 30 men, I could have forgiven her for that.
Because
honestly, because of that child, that's what for me is a problem. Now, a lot of people will say, "Oh, that don't make no sense," but at the end of the day, like I say, that is To me,
so that's
the cardinal sin on either side.
It's the cardinals
on either side. If the man did it,
everyone's entitled.
Baby girl, walk away. If he does it, if she did it, walk away. That's your option. And if you decide to leave, and you don't want to hear nothing they say, and you can still love them and be friends. I know people have done it. I met personally. If I'm married, and my wife comes home and tell me, baby, will the 9-year-old we have, what, he's sick? You need to go to the hospital. Sweet girl, if it ain't one of those two, if he have AIDS, we could deal with that.
I was gonna mention that. I mean, I was gonna mention. Here's the thing, D. Number one, you've loved this child the child's almost 20. You've loved this child for 20 years. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't. I mean, just your approach. You would tell the child that, listen, your mom has something to tell you.
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing, I'd want the child. I'll have that conversation with the child. I want the child to know that I'm possibly not your father. You see what I'm saying? Because she would probably want to get to know her father. And the guy probably doesn't even know. The other guy probably doesn't even know as well.
He probably does.
You see what I'm saying? I'm just saying, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Right. You see what I'm saying? But to throw away 20 years.
With who?
Because
Trying to with who?
Being in that child's life. That's the thing. That's like you saying you dating somebody else and they have kids. That's different. You can invest in their kids. I understand it's different, but you didn't spend 20 years in this child's life.
And I can be there for the rest of it for the next 200 years. Yes.
Okay.
That ain't
you're not gonna be.
No, I'm not gonna be with the mother.
But here's the thing: you cheated on this woman for 3 times as well.
Not care. If you had slept with 30 other men, mm-hmm. We could have worked that out. You bringing a child into my life and lying to me about it is where the problem comes.
What did she lie about? The fact that
let me watch this.
Because remember, she didn't find out about the child until 10 years later.
No, she didn't. She didn't realize that the child was not her husband's until 10 years. And apparently, I have one of my children, and I told Candy this: when his mother got pregnant, she was cheating, and I asked her. I said, "Look, is that my child or is that his? Or is his child?" I said, "Okay, fine." When she had the child, I asked her, "Is it you the boy or girl?" She said, "A little boy." I said, "Okay, I'm gonna ask you again. Is that my child or is that his?" I tell you, it's his child. I said, "Okay, fine. It's not mine. Fine." 4 years later, she comes to me. "Oh, you have a son?" I said, "I have 2 sons." "But you have 3. I said, "No, the hell I don't. No, I don't. Your words were, that's not my child." And at the age he's at now, I just started to somewhat forge a relationship with him. And that's only because my thing is, okay, he doesn't deserve the ping-ponging back and forth, up and down foolishness. So it's on the strength of him, not her. If it was because of her, it wouldn't matter. But you were the adult. You went out there and did what you did. When you discovered that this may not possibly be your child, your husband's child, it was your responsibility, whether you felt as though he cheated or not, it was your responsibility to still tell him, "Look, this is the situation." Because, like I say, this child has been calling him daddy for all his life. Child has been being taken care of by him, living in his house, carries his name, all these different things. And people say, "Oh, those things shouldn't matter." Why? Because it's the woman that had the child on the mind. If it was every woman in our group would have probably been telling her, "Oh, he's a dog, he's a bastard, he's a worthless piece of..."
No, that's not true, because we've had situations and we've had stories of this very thing happening, and it's been said, it's happened now. Are you going to either accept the child regardless of the fact that it comes with a... What you mean because it's a woman? No, it's when it was a man. It has been more oftentimes than not when it has been a situation where the man has gone out or stepped outside of his relationship or his marriage and brought a child back into it. Or you forget the one where when the woman come home, she meet the little boy sitting up in her front room. And so she was like, "So what happened in here?" Yes, you were sitting right here for it. So she was like, "So what's going on here?" He was like, that's when the old girl was threatening to tell. You know what? I can just pony up. And he take the little boy home. So the woman come home from work and she meet the little boy sitting up. So she's like, "Well,
what did I say? What did I say?
Who Charlie says?"
What did I say?
He went in to say that there was born out of an affair he had. The woman was threatening whatever. So he finally decided that he's just going to go ahead and tell, I can tell her.
And it was the same thing. If she wanted to leave, then tell him go to hell and walk away.
I'm not saying that the option is not there. We are exploring the fact of, remember, the subject matter is, is it possible to forgive and move through and past the most egregious things that happen in your relationship, or is it best to simply walk away? And then if that's the case, then does such a thing exist as open, given, no conditions being had, forgiveness and love? Is it possible within intimate relationships?
Yes, it is.
Or are we saying that it only can happen up to a certain point?
No, it is possible within intimate relationships.
It depends on the person. I mean, it depends on what I guess I don't want to use the word you stand for, For me,
so let me ask you, we've talked a lot about what D's are. So as a man being put in the very same position, what do you do?
I mean, it just depends on, it's hard to say what I would do. It's really hard to say what I would do. I mean, the thing is, knowing that I've been in this part of this child's life, his whole life.
So let me drive it home to you, because I usually just have to put your girls in it for it to. No. What I mean is that's the only way Mike is usually be able to really.
But I'm looking at my face.
Into it. Yeah, don't do it.
Right, my face just got black.
Don't do it.
You don't have to, because I've thought about it.
If you, that's what I'm saying. At some point, that you going through the counseling session, and she says to you, "Well, ain't you?"
It's a
as much as you love that child, and I know that you love that child, do you now say, because we do not share the same DNA, that love for you, that and because of what your mother has done, because your mother is the fault of it, it ain't nothing to do with her.
What did I say?
I'm not saying that you said saying, because people then thinking it being thought, and so what do? And so through the forgiveness, I'm not saying that you have to forgive her mother, but what I'm saying is, he has said, I still love my wife, but I'm struggling with this. How do I get to a place of forgiveness? And he has said, remember, it is him that wrote in, not her.
Oh, he wrote in.
He wrote in. And he's saying, here I am as a man. I don't know what seed I left. He said, because to be honest, I was sleeping with some of these people unprotected. That's number one. So I couldn't tell you if I got a child, a chicken, a Chinese out there. That's one. Number two, I am seeking forgiveness from my wife for cheating at almost every pivotal point in our relationship. I have. And when I didn't actually go through sex, I've had emotional affairs with other women. I've taken things out of our financial part that could have been useful to us, and I've given it to other women. I'm expecting her to forgive me for these things that I've done in my relationship, and yet I struggle with forgiving her. And this is what he said: as I am seeking forgiveness from my wife, and I want us to go on to 25, 26 years. How do I expect her to forgive me? And I look in her face and said, I am unwilling to forgive you. I give to you, I take back. And the love for this child, I no longer have because of what you've done. I can't forgive you, and I walk away.
The love for the child, taking that back is impossible. I don't care what he says.
But he's just throwing it out there. He's saying, in the long and the short is, he's expecting forgiveness from her.
But he's struggling. But
he's struggling with forgiveness. But he feels
he's struggling forgiveness because
there's a child involved.
It is, but he also is saying
realistically, I feel as though.
You should say I would do on this one.
Realistically, I feel like Mike, me and Mike finally agree on one thing. His struggling with forgiveness is only because of the child factor. If it was just sleeping with another person or even other persons, I think he'd have been able to walk away from that.
See, get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Okay, Keisha says my granddad had about 50 kids. We had to do a count for the aspect of for funeral, right?
Do a count.
Wow.
Hold on. Now she being frank, that's what I like before she's dropping. So she says, count for the funeral, 50 kids he have, 5 of which for his wife. Yeah, divide that up. She says that seriously has warped my view on these kinds of things, and that's the bottom line. Did you hear that? He's still doing the mathematical 50, 5 of which
he's busy.
Are his wife's.
He's busy.
5.
Wait, only 10.
Yeah, click that up.
Only 10% each are in. Right?
So many calculators.
As I wait for the calculations and things
what the hell?
to be. Exactly. We didn't know if it was 2 and 3, but the fact of the matter is,
the fact of the matter is, it's 45.
You with a woman. It don't matter if you with a woman, and you know, with that, Brenda, I probably was with her for umpteen years, right? And over the course of those years,
I just been spanking every day.
The count has been done, and there's that.
And that's only 40, 50 that they know.
So what I'm saying is, and while let's just say, I don't know the specifics to that case, but let's just say now it's time for her to put her husband of 50, 60 years in the ground. Does she say, boy, that on your life for that? Because I done find out with these children stem and only 5 is which.
I mean,
or does she have to say at the end of the day, whatever he's done, it was still my husband. I still have 5 for him, and I still put him down in the respect of what we've shared over the years, outside of the fact that he had been philandering.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying, as human beings, I know it's difficult, but do we separate the actions or the ill doings of those we love? To contain them and look at the things that have been beneficial, that we have built, that we have done together, or are we just willing to look at the things that they've done, or do we look at them as whole fallible human beings? On what point do you say this foul is greater than the next foul, and that is greater than that?
And I always say this: we expect perfection from imperfect people. At the end of the day, in my imperfect state. In my perfect state, yeah, I'll be able to say, okay, well, you know, that's happened and I'll accept. No, in my imperfect human being state, hooker.
Yeah, Keith said it was in clusters.
You go your way. My child are still my child. That's still my child. And I'm gonna still be there for graduation, for your wedding, for your first baby, for all of these things. Because the person that created you is not necessarily your father.
Agreed.
The person that created you is the person that created you. Your father, your dad, your daddy. Those terms are.
But your point is, as well as I understand, there's a choice in that. Even with knowing that, a man takes a choice to love this child.
In all honesty, I think after 20 years, your choice has been taken away because the way
I don't mean with that. I'm just saying a man that decides that this is not mine biologically, but I make a decision to be what this child is needing.
That's what I'm saying. You mean after the 20 years?
No, with any man that decides that whether a dad is absent or whatever, a man that decides to love a child.
But see, that's okay. And that's
a choice.
That's the thing.
He didn't have the choice.
He didn't have the choice.
But what I'm saying is he does now.
No, he doesn't.
He does.
No, because after 20 years of being in a child's life, I no longer have a choice. This is my child. Emotionally,
whether the choice is one that we like. No, hold on.
If he sees someone, he could tell a child, "Oh, you're my child," and I could walk away. But if he sees someone harming that child, his fatherly instinct is gonna kick in. He's gonna stop his vehicle wherever he is in the road, and he can come on. He can fight for his child.
Choice.
No,
it is.
No, it's
and
not.
He has a choice now. And I'm not saying that she was right. She was absolutely wrong. And when she thought in her mind that there was a possibility that this was the case, she should have said. Even from when she was carrying this child, if she thought there was a possibility, she should have said. I agree with that. But as we say, life has already gone on to 20 plus years. Here is the situation before you. You now still love this child, but you have a choice. We talked about that a couple of days ago. When you've become amalgamated with a child, you have been doing for a child, but you and the mother are no longer together. Do you now sever ties? Do you remember that conversation?
That was a difference with that.
That was a different situation, Candy.
It's a different situation, but you still, either you love and you're connected to someone or a child, Candy, or you are not.
Candy, meeting a woman with children, having your wife get pregnant.
Obviously, it's different, D. But what I'm saying, we're still talking about the root of it, which is the connection to a child and the love for a child.
Okay.
What I'm saying is now there's a choice, isn't it?
No. Not for a man.
You don't have a choice to walk away.
Emotionally, I cannot walk away from
You cannot, but some men walk away every day. They make a choice to walk away.
You asking if there is a choice?
There a choice.
There is a
legitimately.
Whether you
a man versus salt will never take the choice, but the choice exists.
Hold on, let me.
Can we admit that? Of course, it's there.
Mike,
the choice is there.
Mike,
D, the choice is there.
A man worth of salt that truly loves the child can take the choice. Can we agree on that? He will never take that choice.
Okay,
but the choice exists. You have to say it's
when I say it's not, but okay, I understand what you're saying.
Because but he won't ever take it because he loved that child.
Remember what I told you about Fat Boy?
Yes.
When he met this girl pregnant.
I don't bring that up.
No. He met this girl pregnant. She had twins. This day, They know he's not their father. They've gone and met their dad. When they see him, what you think they call him? Daddy. Yeah. And what they call me? Uncle. I can't stand them on me.
Yeah, but I there.
But when they call me uncle, I'll be like, hey baby, what's up?
What's that?
And that's that.
Mm-hmm.
I get what you guys are saying, and okay, yeah, that choice is there to walk away, but after being entangled, I mean, that's why I say it's not I can't.
And the choice is
go ahead. None of my children, mommy, could come to me with that foolishness.
I understand that, but wait, what you were just about to say, after being entangled in someone's life so deeply, being involved in so many things in their life over 20 years. Same, he's been entangled in his wife's life over 20 years. He was there for the birth of the three.
But the thing is this: the wife is someone else's child. Those are his kids.
Mandy, you understand just where I go.
I understand where you're coming from.
Because it's such a hurtful scenario.
And it is.
I get that, and but you're willing to open to that. But what I'm saying is this: he has been. If we're looking at it that way, has he not been entangled in his wife's life
for 24 years plus?
So no matter. She could see him going betwixt a leg right now. Curious about that, but it does not disembark or disengage the feelings that she has poured into this man for over 20 years. That's 2 decades.
Plus 2.5.
That's 2 decades.
2.5. 2.5 decades.
Basically.
Yeah.
You know, it's like longer there.
And I get that, but see, the thing is,
people who ain't even alive. It's solid you've been alive that long.
I mean, we the same age.
You keep drinking that fuzz. I mean, to be involved, and we always say time shouldn't be an issue, and it isn't. But we're talking about what was happening and what had been shared over that time period.
Because you're talking about experiences,
and
that's what
and those are shared experience. Exactly.
Right. You see what I'm saying? See, here's the thing, Candy. It's obvious he can't do it by himself.
No,
he's gonna need help. He's gonna need psychological help. And to me, that's the best route I would, if I was in that situation, because it's going to be tough for me, knowing that I've invested the time, energy, money.
If he wants to stay,
and that can be resentment on his behalf. He can look at him.
If he wants to stay, the reality of it is, like Mike says, he's going to have to get outside help. They're going to have to have a lot of sessions. He's going to have realistically
a lot more sessions.
Yeah, they're going to have to. They're going to have to talk about a lot more things, and he's gonna have to, because you can't start to uproot a tree.
Well, mind you, it's more coming out now. This happened couples. Yeah, they still in sessions. More things coming out.
Right,
so I don't know if he have more that he needs to get in there.
You know about that.
See, a lot of times, and this sounds strange, but space helps. He may need to go and get a place of his own where he could think without her being there. Being there,
I think that's a good idea.
I think it is, because see, remember the song with
running away with you? No way. No.
So what time with her is better?
Because they need to heal that process to get all 2 of them hurt. Two of them.
Yeah, been hurt in different ways.
I don't think so.
I know. When you truly love someone, to know that you've hurt them in that kind of way, I'm sure it's not. I'm not saying it's easy for her either to know, because even when you've done something bad and you look at the hurt on somebody else's face that you've invoked, that does something to your psyche. Human. Yeah, if you're human and you care about this person, that ain't easy to know that you are the person that has induced this kind of pain. You know, no matter how you say, you forgive me or you don't forgive me, that hurts you to know that you've hurt this person in this kind of way.
And the sad part about it is, like I say, the child is going to have to find out.
So now what I'm saying is her actions now that she has done, and the one action now has embossed itself on her entire relationship, and not just that, her life, his life, this child's life, and their relationship as mother and child,
and the relationship that she's gonna have with the other kids.
Child.
I know, because they're gonna be trying to figure out why bro so bitter, why he snappy and this and that, and then when it comes out, they're gonna be like.
So now this is probably family counseling now.
Yeah,
so it's a heavy thing.
They can't do it by themselves.
But here's the thing: even if he walks away, the disaster is still there.
Right.
It's still there.
So
I'm not saying what I'm saying though.
And if he decides to walk away, he's still gonna need. You still gotta need psychological help to deal with that.
And he's still gotta encounter. If he's saying that he still loves his child, obviously he still wants to be in the child's life.
That's my baby.
So now what I'm saying now is they're gonna need help figuring that out together as well.
And let me tell you,
have to, and because she's gonna have to answer for some things, that means that's a counseling with the three of them. So
let me tell you that saying, "You never miss the water until the well run dry." Mm-hmm. That is a that's real, very true saying. So the thing is, you've been in this person's relationship for more than 20 years, and I'm not talking about the child. The child, I don't think is going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I think the child is going to recognize this is. They say you don't have to be a
rocket scientist.
Well, I mean, being a father doesn't mean you have to biologically, blah, whatever that stuff is. But he's been there as a child's father. That's going to account for something. You see what I'm saying? But knowing that you've loved this person, you've been this person
solid
for years, and just to I mean, and I ain't saying just to walk away. I mean, he has the right to walk away because of what has happened. But let's say he does walk away. Eventually, he's the one who want to come back.
Walk away from who? The wife?
Mm-hmm. Because here's the thing. When it's a situation like that, as much as we'd like to define it as walking away from Jess, you're walking away from your unit.
Yeah.
And it isn't because he doesn't have the right to, because regardless of what he says, okay, yes, I did my due, but here's what you did. We're dealing with how I'm feeling. You may be able to get past the fact that I've slept with 3 other people and had relationships, and that's more power to you. But we talking about me right now. You understand what I said? No, but truth, even when things like that in our relationship, we expect to get exactly what we give, and that just doesn't happen.
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't happen. Even when it comes to, like, if I slice in pie, I might slice myself a bigger pie because I like chocolate pie.
And then I can walk away so you don't see my side.
That's no problem. And so what I'm saying is, just because you are in a place where you feel like love is about letting go and forgiveness, the person may feel that way as well, but what you've done, they cannot get beyond. And they're within their right to do that. Mm-hmm. We tend to hold people accountable by our own standards. And I understand that, and you have the right to do that, but you also have to realize that there is individualism, and what rolls off your back will kill me.
Yeah. What rolls off your back, I can hold
we
it.
tend to expect people to give and feel the way we would feel and forgive on that situation, and it just isn't real life.
I told a judge, I said, if one of my children's mothers was to call me and tell me that my child was to die stupidly, like by choking or I can kill him. I go into jail. And she looks at me, she says, you do realize that I'm a magistrate, right? And you can't say that. I said, madam, I know what you are. I know your job, but I'm dead serious with that.
So at this point, this Nautilus bottle is where you can start putting your donations for bail.
Yeah, because I can go to jail.
In the event of.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. Like a lot of stuff, people will say, oh, you should just, I mean, after all that time, they should be able. But boy, listen to when you think, and as parents, as the 3 of us are parents sitting here, I think all of us put ourselves in that situation when you hear that type of a story. And I can't. Like, I'll be like, which child? Who DJ? I mean, you mean Dorian on the road? His baby and his?
So
I can't. I
don't think we're going to come to answer to this, but I think it was important to discuss.
No, the answer is realistic. If like Mike said, if he really wants that, then it's a lot of forgiveness has to be.
The family has
the family has a lot
to do.
But
it can be done. Will it be easy?
No. Hell no.
No, it's not gonna be easy.
Hell no.
It's just gonna take.
And she has to. And we just talked about that this morning in a separate issue. When you want something and it means something to you, just because you walk away didn't mean it didn't mean anything to you. It just means that you've made up in your mind that you cannot deal. And some people just cannot. People can only give you what they have to give. Do you understand? No matter how deep they might give you a little piece more, but they cannot. When it comes to either my mental survival, my survival, or being with you, I have to let you go, and I have to choose me. Some people, that's what it is. Other people, but they will die silently every single day. sometimes you have to make a decision. What's better for you? Although I would like to be forgiven and I want us to survive and I want us to make it, not on the cost of you dying and shriveling up every single day, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, your soul is damaged. Walk away and leave me alone if that's what it takes.
Every time we look at the child, you have resentment towards me.
If you really can't handle it, because some of us will say we forgive too and we cannot. We don't have it. It's about being honest and truthful about what you can do and what you cannot.
And let me explain to you what type of what real love is. If she sees that it's killing him that much,
then you let him go.
She could say to him, "Look, baby, listen to me. I appreciate the effort, but I would rather you walk away and survive and be there for the child if you still choose to, than to stay here and try to prove a point to yourself and die,
or prove that you love me and that's why you're here."
Right? No, I would prefer you be alive and be around for my baby.
I let you go.
So I'll let you go rather than you stay here.
Sometimes
and die slowly,
they don't have the
trying to prove something to me.
He may not have it within him to leave, and it may come to a point where
she may see, okay, yeah, this ain't working for him.
I think that happens in a lot of relationships.
It does. When you realize you want it so badly, but you know that person doesn't have it in it. They're don't have it within him. They're trying. You have to be the person to take control and say, you know what, I let you go.
I love you and I appreciate you. Thanks.
And because of that, I release you. That takes a lot as well, and that's forgiveness on a different level. I forgive myself. And that's what you may have to do. I forgive myself, and I know you're trying to, but you can't get beyond.
Honest to God, I really hope they sort that situation out.
Please let us know, because y'all just don't want to let us know. Y'all just leave us with the hot cake, and just.
And we still have to come back to it.
Yeah, y'all. Right.
Remember when we talked about this?
Y'all just walk away. We didn't leave you. Why y'all walk away and tell us about it? All right. So as we sign off today, I'm gonna leave you with what's come before us. Okay. So what if the wife's sister had a kid and found out years later that the kid is her husband's? She's been to doctor's appointment with her sister, dropping and picking her up. Her niece or nephew.
The wife's sister.
Let me read it again.
A kid, but it's for the wife's husband.
Yeah. So what if the wife's sister had a kid and found out years later that the kid is her husband's? She's been to doctor's appointments with sis, dropping and picking up her niece or nephew. This child is now by extension hers. Now she finds out this is her stepkid in actuality. I believe that's almost equal to what hubby is feeling. He's attached to the child, so this is a mucky situation. Feel sorry for this dude. But, you know, it still is what it is. And he has also cheated. And on that note, because D getting geared up again.
My next life I come back as a tree.
Yeah, but suppose your roots go over to this other person root. And the bird from your tree come fly in my tree.
I can keep my roots contained.
Yes,
I ain't gonna venture.
Boy, there's just no easy way.
Oh, cloud.
Cloud. I would not be so presumptuous as to say what the right or wrong answer is. I think we've explored many aspects of the situation. We've gone and explored many different facets of if to be in this shoe or if to be in that shoe and whatever. And I think that's all that we can pretty much do right here. At the end of the day, the decision must be your own. We've talked about it, and you see how she may feel. We understand how you may feel and how possibly the child can be ill-affected. This is what it is. You know, at sometimes we just have to make the decisions, the most difficult decision, but at the end of the day, one must be made. And the most important one at this moment is, shall you remain together or shall you do it apart? Either which way, you're going to still have to work it out together for the sake of child as rest of the other two children that are biologically within. That's the long and the short.
But forgiveness has to take place regardless.
It does. Absolutely. Forgiveness is going to have to take place. You're going to have to forgive yourself for the things that you've committed within your marriage. You're going to have to forgive her because at the end of the day, you still are a father biologically to two of our children, and you've made the decision to still be a father to the third. So in sitting through these sessions, counseling and otherwise, it is what it is. Anyway, that's it for us.
Well, let me just give a shout out to Bianca listening for the first time.
Bianca, good morning, darling.
What's happening, chocolate? She chocolate, right?
No, she vanilla. Yeah. Then is that.
Hey, Bianca.
I can talk to you, but that when we get off air. But Solid, then give me that count couple times. I'm sorry, we gotta go. 431-8497 if you want to continue the convo. Email us at verycoolcandy@yahoo. That's it. We're gone. Don't forget to get your Global app. Get it right now in the Google Play Store and catch us live on Global 99.5. Love Jones, we're on 11 o'clock tomorrow, same time, same place.
Weedling!